Hi beautiful souls, welcome back, or if you're new to the channel, welcome in. My name is Cade and today I am back with another pick a card reading or a channeled message from your spirit guides. I've been channeling a lot more lately versus using the cards, so we'll just see kind of what happens today. So I'm going to be bringing through channeled messages from spirit on what you need to be doing right now. Okay, so you're probably like, well, what does that mean? So I'm just kind of going to be asking, what do you need to be doing right now? What do you need to be focusing on right now? Where do you need to be putting your energy? It's kind of like the intent that I'm going for with this reading. You know, kind of just like, do you need to be focusing on school? Do you need to be focusing on career? Do you need to be focused on love? Do you need to be focused on self-care? Maybe you need to be focused on multiple different things. So if you're someone who's a little bit confused right now around where you need to be putting your energy towards, that's kind of what I want to dive into in today's reading is what do you need to be focused on? What do you need to be doing right now to progress your life in the direction that you want it to go in. So if you guys want to check me out on other social media platforms, they are going to be linked down below. And I also have my new business that I just launched with my sister, which is also going to be linked down below if you guys want to check it out. So today we're going to be choosing from 3 different pendulums, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each pendulum, which is going to represent a pile. So we're going to do 3 piles today. And then I will show you a close-up of all 3 piles lined up, okay? So pile 1 is going to be the red jasper pendulum. So this is going to be pile number 1. It's going to be the red jasper pendulum. Pile number 2 is going to be the rainbow moonstone pendulum. This is going to be pile 2, the rainbow moonstone pendulum. And pile number 3 is going to be the lapis lazuli pendulum. This is going to be pile number 3, the lapis lazuli. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a moment to choose your pile. Okay, so take as much time as you need, guys. Pause the video, call upon your spirit guides, and ask them which pile is most going to resonate with you. And we're going to kind of just see what direction do you need to be going in, okay? What steps do you need to be taking, and what do you need to be focused on right now to progress your life in the direction that you want it to go in. So we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number 1, and I will see the rest of you beautiful souls at your pile. Hi, beautiful souls that chose pile 1, or if you chose the red jasper pendulum, welcome in, guys. So I'm super excited about today's reading because I feel like it's going to be super helpful if you've been a little bit confused lately. Sometimes I kind of get like that where it's like I want to progress my life, I want to move forward, but I'm not really sure what I need to be doing. So I'm hoping that this general reading can kind of give you a little bit of clarity on kind of what direction you need to be going in and kind of what you need to focus your energy towards right now. It's really going to be a lot about focused intention, like what do you need to be focused on so that you can manifest what you want to manifest. Okay, I don't know why I just heard some of you are going to be writing a book soon. Okay, so I'm going to be using these cards today. We're just kind of going to shuffle the cards and I'm going to channel through the messages from spirit. Okay, so let's take a moment here, tuning in. What does pile 1 need to know around what they need to be focusing on? What does pile 1 need to be focusing on right now? Where do they need to be focusing their energy? It's up to you to get things done. Okay, so for you specifically, pile 1, there is a message coming through around, okay, so they're just showing me like no one's coming. Okay, no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to tell you to get up out of bed and get motivated. No one's coming to tell you to exercise. No one's coming to tell you all that you need to do. There's a lot of energy, pile 1, around you needing to be your own self-motivator. I feel like that's something that maybe you've been struggling with lately, is like feeling like you need outside validation or feeling like you need someone to tell you what to do or feeling like you need someone to tell you what the right answer is. And to be honest, what your guides are saying to me is that there is no right right answer. There is no right way to do life. There is no right way to run a business. There is no right way to film a YouTube video. There is no right way to write a book. Like, there's not a cookie cutter explanation for what you're going to want to do in life. It feels like what you're going to do in life is super flowing. It's super free. There's a lot of freedom when it comes to whatever your purpose is going to be. It's going to be different for all of you. I may do a soul purpose reading very soon, but it just feels like you sometimes want a logical explanation, or you want someone to lay out, steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, when your guidance is telling me there are no steps to really take. It's more about just doing it your own way, carving your own path. Like, no one's coming to tell you the right way to do it, because in reality, there really is no right way to do it, if that makes sense. It's like, what am I kind of getting? It's like, I feel like some of you have a fear of like messing up, or you have like this fear of doing it wrong, or this fear of failure, which I feel like kind of prevents you from taking action, and it prevents you from moving forward because you're trying to make it perfect, when in reality, perfect does not exist. Really, the imperfection in all that we do is what makes it so unique and so beautiful. And that's why our life is so beautiful, is because we are imperfect and we make mistakes and we fall and we get back up. But what your guidance is saying is that, like, there's really no like right way to do it. It's like a lot of energy around needing to just like carve your own path, or needing to make your own way, or just like, Spirit is saying like, you're a grown adult is kind of what I'm getting here, is what they're wanting me to say. And when it comes to being an adult, like, you can do whatever you want. Like, there's no boss, there's no leader telling you what you need to do. And so it's almost this feeling of like, have fun with it. Like, no one's coming to get you in trouble. Like, you're like thinking, what about if I do it wrong? Or what about if I fail? Well, like, there's no consequences to that. Like, it's okay if you fail. You're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to mess up your entire life. You're not going to mess up your entire existence. If you fail, or if you make a mistake, you're not going to mess up what you're meant to do in this lifetime. I think you need to allow yourself a little more leeway when it comes to just like messing up, making mistakes, spilling something, and also just understanding that like being in a rigid energy, which I kind of feel like some of you are in, maybe you are an Aries is kind of what I'm getting, or maybe you just lived in a very controlled environment when you were growing up during childhood, or maybe you had super controlling parents or guardians or something like that. And it's just like, you don't need to be that way when it comes to like yourself. Like, it's almost this feeling of like, parent yourself a little bit, like tell yourself to get up and get motivated, but also make sure you're not like abusing yourself when you make a mistake, or like beating yourself up. Maybe abuse isn't the right word. More like just like make sure you're not beating yourself up or being overly harsh on yourself when it comes to making mistakes, because I feel like that is a learned habit, or a learned thing that you picked up during childhood, is to like be super hard on yourself. I feel like for you in particular, Pile 1, maybe you were like, your parents were super hard on you when it came to like getting good grades and like, succeeding, which is like important to a certain extent. But it's also this feeling of like allowing and giving yourself a chance to learn and a chance to grow. It's like, you're not going to do it right the first time. And I think when it comes to what direction do you need to be going in, it's like this feeling of like, there's not really one specific direction. It's more about a way of living and how you need to be living your life. It's like allowing yourself to like be a beginner when it comes to learning new things, and just when it comes to life, and just allowing yourself to learn as you go, and needing to understand that like you don't have to know all the answers before you start something. So whatever that may be that you want to start, it's like allowing yourself to be the beginner, okay, be the student, and understanding that you're not going to start whatever you're doing in life as the teacher. You're not going to start as the master, and just allowing yourself to like go through those different levels in your life. So let's see, what does Pile 1 need to be focused on? What does pile 1 need to be focused on? It can't be that hard, is what I'm hearing. It can't be that hard if everyone else is doing it. So I think what you want to do in life, okay, so it's almost this feeling with time comes wisdom, is what I'm hearing with this card, is like you will grow more over time. So something about whatever you're doing, you're going to get progressively better at it. Like, you're going to start as a beginner, and they're just saying with whatever you're going to be doing next, it's like you're going to get progressively better at it. I also feel like with grace, it's like almost this feeling of allowing ourselves to be, it's almost like allowing ourselves to be like in the in-between is kind of how Spirit's describing it. It's like allowing ourselves to be in a place where we're not like 100% over here or 100% in the past. We're just like right in the present moment. And so make sure also, pile 1, you're not getting too caught up in like the future and what the future should look like and who you should be, and make sure you're not getting too caught up in the past and what was, and just you have this perfect balance where you're just kind of living in that present moment, allowing life to unfold exactly how it's meant to unfold. Because I feel like you guys look up to a lot of people, you get wisdom, and you learn a lot from others and listening to others. And I think one day you want to be that person and you want to be that leader. And some of you are that today. Okay, we all are helping and healing each other. I think everyone has something different to offer the world, and I think we can learn something from everybody. But it's also understanding that the people that you're listening to or the people that you're learning from, they are on page 20, you're on page 1. And so make sure you're not like comparing your journey to like this person who's already on chapter 3 and you're just starting chapter 1. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're enjoying like every chapter of your life and you're not wanting to rush forward to like, you know, the future too much. Make sure you're enjoying the steady growth of each chapter of your life. You know what I mean? You don't want to rush forward and just like be the adult and be so responsible. Like make sure you're enjoying chapter 1 and chapter 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It's all a progression, and understand that those people that you're receiving all that wisdom from, they've already been through maybe the journey that you're going through right now, and there's no need to rush forward. Timing is everything, is what I'm hearing. Your time to bloom will come. Just like certain flowers bloom in the spring and then it falls away in the fall, your springtime is going to come. You're going to bloom. You're going to become exactly who you need to become in exactly the right moment that you need to become that, if that makes sense. So make sure you're not too much in a rush. And Spirit is just saying, live more presently in the moment, okay? Some of you are working to get a degree, and it's like it takes time to get where you want to go, okay? And that's perfectly okay. Like enjoy that time of like being, enjoy the time of being the beginner and being the student, okay? Make sure you're not rushing forward too much to be the wise old person, you know? So let's see, what do you need to be focused on? Is there anything else for pile number 1? I just keep hearing it can't be that hard. So we also have action and we have flow coming out as well. So what I'm kind of getting here is just like, make sure is another message that I'm getting for you, pile 1. When you're taking action, make sure it's guided action. And what I mean by that is like, make sure you're not just taking it because you feel like you have to take action. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're not taking a step forward just because you feel like you have to, or you feel like society wants you to do that, okay? Make sure the action that you're taking is aligned with what you feel like you want to do as well. It's like if you want to go to college and you want to take those steps to get your degree, go do it as long as it's for you and as long as you're feeling aligned with that action. Make sure you're not doing something just because you're like, your parents told you to do it or society is pushing that image upon you. Make sure you're living freely with what you want to become. And so if sometimes you feel maybe you need to take a pause or you need to take a break, it's also about listening to that guidance as well. I think a lot of times when we think about what do I need to focus on to progress in my life, when we think about that question, what do I need to be doing to move forward, oftentimes we think of it in terms of like needing to like work really, really hard. But sometimes the one thing that we need to do is rest, and understanding that sometimes rest can progress us forward just as much as working really, really hard. And sometimes it's all about what you need. So make sure you're tuning in and tapping into what you need versus what you think you should be doing. Make sure you're tapping in and listening to what you know that you should be doing versus just like guessing, like maybe I should just be working hard because that's what everyone else is doing. If that makes sense. I hope this is like making sense. It's like they're saying like guided action, like make sure you're being guided to take those steps. Like don't just take the steps because you see everyone else around you taking those steps. Tap into your intuitive body and say like, do I need to be taking that action? Do I need to be going in that direction? Or do I need to pause? Like what's going to help me progress the most? So with flow, that's kind of what the message I was talking about is, just like flowing with like, we're moving forward, but when we need to pause, we're also pausing, and we're in that perfect natural ebb and flow of the universe. So is there any other message for pile 1? What is pile 1? Let's just see, is there anything else for pile 1? Okay, so we have pleasure and we also have voyage. Okay, so it's interesting because voyage makes me think about getting from point A to point B. It's a voyage across a certain like aspect of your life is kind of what Spirit is saying. It's going from point A to point B. A voyage is a trip over sea. So metaphorically what I'm getting is just like enjoying that journey. Like you can't get from point A to point B in the snap of your fingers. It takes time. You have to go through trials and tribulations. So it's just trusting that journey and trusting that once you start your journey, that Spirit will guide you towards the destination that you need to be led towards at exactly the right moment. But with pleasure, it's also about enjoying the journey and not focusing too much on the destination, and also enjoying the time in between getting from point A to point B. It's like, don't focus too much on the end goal. It's super important to visualize what you want to create in life, but it's also important to recognize that creation comes from a buildup of present moments. It's like that's how you get to where you want to go. It's a buildup of day by day present moments. So make sure you're not just like skipping out on all those things, if that makes sense. It's like you have to live present to the moment to create everything that you've ever wanted to create, because really the present is the only thing that exists, is what your guidance is saying. So in terms of what you need to focus on, I think you're a lot more in flow, and I think you're a lot more guided than you would like to give yourself credit for. I feel like with you, pile 1, it's more about just like trusting that and following the wind is what Spirit is saying. It's like follow where the wind blows and you will never be led astray. The wind is not always going to show you where you're going, but if you just use Spirit as your compass and you just trust that they're pointing you in the right direction, I think things will be a lot easier for you. So let's see. We have courage and we also have inspiration. So really with courage and inspiration, what I'm getting is if you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, what makes you feel like this woman on the card? Look how excited she is to just beat these drums. What makes you feel inspired? Start with that. A lot of time we're like, what is my purpose? Well, your purpose is going to be the thing that lights you up. So start there. Start what lights me up. And it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be hard. Like it can be super simple in terms of what lights you up. It could be writing. Maybe it's just that simple. It could just be like communicating with other people, socializing. Maybe that lights you up. Maybe it's just like planting a garden. Maybe it's like I don't know, it could be anything. It could be so simple. So make sure you're not getting too complex when it comes to like your purpose. Sometimes it's a lot more simple. It could just be, I like to help people, and then it's just figuring out a way to do that. And you can help people in multiple different ways. You can give readings, you can use your intuition, you can help people just by talking to them, just by being there for them, okay? So I'm also getting another message of like, don't make your purpose harder than it has to be. Your purpose is the most simple thing that you will ever do because it's the only thing in life that is true to you. You don't have to try to find your purpose. Your purpose is already within you. So all you have to do is just kind of tap in and say, what's my purpose? It's already there within you. So make sure you're not trying too hard to find it. You don't have to find something that's already within you, is what the guidance is saying. Okay, so let me know, pile 1, if this resonated with you. Make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video, and I'm gonna go to move on to pile number 2. Hi beautiful souls that chose pile 2, or if you chose the rainbow moonstone pendulum, welcome in, guys. So we're gonna be seeing, where do you need to focus your energy? Like, if you're feeling a little bit confused, like I want to progress my life, but I'm not sure how to, I'm hoping that this reading kind of clears that up and kind of gives you a sense of direction of like, what do I need to be focusing on right now? Where do I need to be directing my energy? Just so you know that you're not like wasting your time, okay? Which honestly, I feel like nothing is wasted. I feel like you can't waste time because you can always learn a lesson out of everything, okay? So let's see for you, pile 2. Let me take a moment. Where does pile 2 need to be focusing their energy? Pile 2. Just go for it. It doesn't matter, just do it, is what I'm hearing. Just do it. It's like they're saying just go for it. Stop waiting. Stop holding back. It's almost like you're putting like, you're like caging yourself, or you're putting a lid on yourself, is what Spirit is saying. Is like, there's so much buildup. It's almost like a balloon. It's like if you keep filling a balloon up and then it pops, like you're just about ready to just explode, is what Spirit is saying. There's already so much within you. There's already so much brewing up. It's just like, it's like Spirit is saying pull the trigger like on a project or something, or like push the button, like get it going, get the ball rolling, is what I'm hearing. So I feel like for you, pile 2, what do you need to be focused on? It's like, it's hard for you to be focused on a project that you haven't started yet. So it's like, you know what you want to do is kind of what I'm getting for you, pile 2. It's more about getting the ball rolling and then just going with that, okay? And trusting that after you push the button, you will be led and guided wherever you need to go next. It's almost this feeling of like free falling, is like taking the leap of faith and just like trusting that when you take that leap of faith, that Spirit is going to catch you if you fall. And just having to trust that. Like, to be honest, pile 2, the lesson for you is just like trust, surrender, faith. Like, you just have to trust. It's that simple. Like, you just have to trust, okay? You're not gonna know everything before you start. You're just gonna have to trust that everything's gonna work out, okay? It can be difficult to do that, Spirit is saying, but they wouldn't have given you this task if they did not know that you could accomplish it. So I feel like Spirit is almost showing me like that you have been given some sort of mission, and your soul has been given a mission. It incarnated for a particular reason, for a particular mission. And I think sometimes for you, pile number 2, sometimes you're like, is this meant for me? Like, I feel super vulnerable. Like, should I take that leap of faith? Like, I'm super scared. Like, why am I going to go do that? Like, why would I do something that I'm so afraid of? But it's really more about like doing it anyways, because your soul would not have given, like, you would not have been given this mission. You would not have been given this purpose if you couldn't do it. And it's just having to have faith in that and trust that Spirit's never going to give you a task that you couldn't accomplish. So if Spirit's like calling you to do something, but your ego is like, no, we could never do that. Like, no, we're not good enough. Like, why would Spirit give you something to do if they knew that you couldn't do it? Like, they obviously have trust in you. They obviously have faith in you. They obviously know that you could succeed by doing this certain thing, but it's more about you having to have trust within yourself. And Spirit is saying there could be a couple different reasons that you're struggling to trust yourself, and maybe that's what you need to address, is why can I not trust myself enough to do the things that I want to do? Why can I not trust myself enough to build the life that I want to build? Because I think whatever this leap of faith is, whatever this thing that has seemed so daunting, like for me, it used to be posting my YouTube videos, and it still is sometimes super scary, and you get super nervous, like, are people going to resonate with it? Are they going to like me? You know, like, are they going to want to follow me? But it's like, if you let fear hold you back, it's going to hold you back from the one thing that you have to do to create the life that you want to create. So I feel like what you need to be asking right now, pile 2, is why can I not take the necessary steps right now to create the life that I want to create? Is it because I'm scared? Is it just a little bit of fear? Is it just little butterflies that I just need to push past? Or is it something much deeper? Is it something from childhood? Did my parents make me feel doubtful? Is it a friend I'm hanging around? Is there a certain friend that's making me feel doubtful about myself? Is it myself? Is it the way I talk to myself? Is it like what I keep telling myself? Is it like my belief system? You need to be asking yourself these questions, because if you are so scared, Spirit is saying, if you're so scared to take that first little leap of faith, how do you ever think you're going to be able to create the life that you desire? Like, if you can't push past this little bit of fear or this little itty bitty roadblock and just push past it and just go for it and just put yourself out there, if you can't do that, then how are you ever going to be able to create the life you desire? You know what I'm saying? So what they want you to do, because you can feel super stuck in fear. It's like you're just super up in your head, very much an 8 of Swords energy where you're just super up in your head and you kind of feel stuck. And that can feel super daunting. But the one way to get out of that stuckness feeling is to just simply ask yourself, like, why am I stuck? What is the biggest thing that is holding me back right now? Is it doubt? And it's really just having to ask yourself, well, where does that doubt come from? And it's needing to kind of, if it comes from the past or if it comes from childhood, it's needing to revisit those memories so that you can finally heal from that and move forward. Because if you're still feeling doubtful because of something that happened 10 years ago, you're living 10 years ago. You're living in the past, and you need to be living in the now. So it's time to finally heal the past, heal whatever went down in the past, so that you can be the best version of yourself today, because Spirit knows that you want to have an amazing life. Spirit knows that you want to live a better life. And, you know, Spirit knows you want to accomplish amazing things in this lifetime. And so they don't want to let a little bit of doubt or a little bit of fear hold you back from doing the thing that you literally were meant to do. Like, guys, whatever this is, like, what is it, Spirit? What is it? It almost feels like a call to action. Like, I just keep getting soul calling. So I know that's super general. It is a general reading. If Spirit brings through something more specific, I'm hearing a hair salon for some of you. Maybe you want to open a hair salon. I think what Spirit is saying is it could be anything. Maybe you want to open an art gallery. Maybe you want to start a school. I don't know what it is. Maybe you want to get on YouTube, or maybe you want to write a book, or maybe you want to start your own bakery, or maybe you want to start an online store. But whatever it is, you have an inner calling. It's a soul calling. And maybe some of you are already following it, but it's just challenging to take that next step and to really just fully go into it. Maybe some of you want to make an online business your full-time job, but it's just a little bit scary. And so what you need to do is you need to dissect that issue of why you're scared to move forward. And once you can dissect it, it doesn't seem so scary. Okay? What Spirit is telling me actually is that monsters are only scary in the dark. Monsters are only scary when you can't see them, okay? But that monster in your closet, when you open it up and you shine the flashlight on it and you're like, I'm not scared of you anymore, it becomes a lot easier to deal with. But when we let it control us, when we let fear control us, that's when we feel like we have no power. So really, it's time to take your power back and to address whatever demons are coming up for you right now, whatever shadows that you need to move through, and bring them to the light so that they can be dealt with once and for all, pile 2. So let's see, what do you need to be focused on? I'm hearing liberate yourself. Liberate yourself from whatever's caging you in. Liberate yourself. You have the key to unlock that cage. Okay? You're a bird is what I'm getting. There's so much built up energy. You're a bird that is ready to soar and fly, but something's cut off your wings is kind of what I'm getting. And it's just like, you've got to figure that out because you were born to fly. Okay, that's the energy that I'm getting. Like, you were literally born to do this. Like, that's like how important it is. Like, you literally incarnated to live out this purpose. Okay, let's see. That came out in the last reading, so I'm going to clear this deck really quick, and I'm going to get one card for you guys. Let's take a look. Okay, we have embracing. And we also have enthusiasm. Okay, so look at that bird. So let's see what I'm getting. So I'm kind of getting embracing the moment in terms of working through these patterns. And also, Spirit is saying on the flip side, when you're working on your shadow, to remember not to beat yourself up and to embrace the growth and to embrace the challenges and to embrace the transformation, because I feel like you are transforming. You're learning how to get out of your own doubt. You're learning how to get out of your own fear, and to also, on the flip side, not be so hard on yourself when it comes to working through all those patterns, or when it comes to letting go of toxic things in your life or toxic patterns, whether that be thinking patterns or people. To not be so hard on yourself and to like celebrate the small stuff, and to know that like you're working as hard as you can and you're gonna get to the place that you're going to exactly when you need to get there, and that a little bit of doubt is not gonna hold you back. Like, you will get through it, even though it doesn't seem like it right now. You're going to get through the one thing that you thought you could never get through. You will get through it. This theme came up in pile 1. It was the theme of just like trusting in divine timing and trusting that you will reach your destination exactly when you need to reach it. Okay. But on the flip side, they're also saying that like, the good thing about you, Spirit is saying for you, pile 2, is that you are taking the necessary steps that you need to take to get where you're going. So it's like, there are some people out there that just sit and wallow in their sadness and they don't do anything about it. But the good thing about you is you're going to do something about it, okay? The fact that you're here watching this reading, the fact that you're here watching this video shows how dedicated you are to this journey, and it shows how dedicated you are to bettering yourself and moving in the right direction. So you're a lot more on path than you're giving yourself credit for as well. And that message kind of came through, I believe, in pile number 1 as well. So let's see. You have surrender. All is well. I surrender to my inner guidance. Beautiful. That message was coming through as well in pile 1. And then flow. This came through as well in pile 1. So it's interesting. So it's a little bit of a similar message, and just like going with the flow, understanding yourself a little bit better. Spirit is saying you're also understanding yourself a little bit better. You're understanding why you maybe doubt yourself. You're understanding why you maybe feel the way that you feel. And I think that's really healthy, because it means you're working through that, okay? And you're moving in the right direction. And you're also just kind of like, what Spirit is saying is like, when you feel nervous or when you feel anxiety, it's not a bad thing. Surrender to that, because really emotions are just communicators. So usually when you have like anxiety, it means that something you need is not showing up. So it's really just trying to communicate something to you. So when that feeling of fear comes up or a certain feeling comes up, anger, sadness, instead of like trying to resist it, just tune in and ask your feeling, why are you showing up? What are you trying to communicate to me? Because I think that's going to be helpful in terms of the direction that you're moving in pile 2, is to just understand, this is a message coming through, that your feelings are communicators, okay? So don't resist your feelings, just ask your feelings what they're trying to communicate, and they'll kind of be able to guide you in the direction that you're going in. I definitely feel a strong connection to water with this pile. So maybe you're a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Maybe you need to connect with the water. Maybe you need to go in the ocean. Maybe you need to take a bath. Maybe you need to jump in the pool. There's something about needing to connect with water here as well. And that seems to be super helpful. Okay, so is there anything else, Spirit, for pile 2? I feel like that's it. Okay, so let me know if this resonated, pile 2. I'm also hearing you're doing a great job, so I don't know who needs to hear that. Let me know if this resonated. Make sure to subscribe. Look at that breakthrough. It is in the reverse. So it's like this feeling of, I feel like there has been something in your way for quite some time, something preventing you from just like bursting forward. But I feel like you're about to work through that. Like that little glass ceiling that has been closing you off, that little lid is about to pop open. Like you will push through whatever that last little challenge is that's preventing you from showing up and being authentic and shining your light. You're gonna break through, okay? You're about to have a massive, massive breakthrough, pile 2. So be prepared. Okay, massive breakthrough is about to show up. So let me know if this resonated with you. Make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. And I'm gonna go ahead and move on to pile number 3. Hi, beautiful souls that chose pile 3, or if you chose the lapis lazuli pendulum, welcome in, guys. So today I'm kind of just bringing through messages around what you need to be focused on right now, or like where you need to be putting your energy. So if you're like kind of in that feeling of like, I want to progress my life, but I'm like, where do I start? That's kind of what we're going to be tuning into today, okay? You're more intuitive than you think. You're more gifted than you think. Some of you are going to be beauty influencers, I'm hearing, or you're going to be some sort of influencer online or on social media. I don't know why I just heard that. Some of you I'm also getting for you in particular, pile 3, you doubt your spiritual abilities, which makes you not communicate them, okay? Which it's like this feeling of like, stop doubting your psychic gifts, stop doubting your spiritual abilities, okay? That's the first message coming through. So let's see, what do you need to be focused on, pile 3? You're very guarded, Spirit is saying. You have a shield up. You need to be more vulnerable. There's something about needing to be more vulnerable, like putting yourself out there. It's like people want to see you, they want to hear you, but it's like building that courage to use your voice. It's like I'm being shown the vision of someone like backstage, and it's like that spotlight is on stage, the microphone is there. It's just a matter of like building that courage to like know that what you have to say is important, and that what you want to communicate with the world is important, and what you want to communicate with the world is beneficial, and that people are going to be benefited by it, okay? There's something about, I feel like you don't like trust your abilities, or there's this feeling of like you keep watching other people do it, but it's like now you need to go do it. It's like you keep watching other people do the things that you want to do, and it's like it's now your time to shine, Spirit is saying. It's like I don't know, it's like you're vicariously living through other people. Like sometimes I'll do that, like I'll watch psychics and I'm like, I want to be that. You know what I mean? Like I'll watch like, you know, Teresa Caputo, the Long Island Medium, or, you know, famous psychics. And I'll just be like, oh my God, I want to do that. Like I want to channel spirit and stuff, and I want to go help people. And it's like at a certain point, it's like deciding like I can do that. And it's like I've watched them for long enough and now it's my time to shine. So I don't know how that's going to resonate with you, but it's time for you to be in the position is kind of what I'm getting. It's like almost as if you've looked up to someone for such a long time and you've learned from them for so long, but now it's time for you to move into that position. It's time for you to speak your truth. You've watched other people speak their truth for so long, and it's your turn. It's like you've watched other people do all the things that you've always dreamed of doing, and now it's your turn. You've watched that person grow their business and start their business and, you know, self-employ themselves, and you're almost sitting there like, I want to do it so bad, and you sometimes feel like you can't, like it's not possible for you, or that's too big of a dream. Like you watch other people live their dreams or live out their dreams or accomplish different things in their life, and you know, you're happy for them. But sometimes I feel like part of you feels like you're not going to be able to do that, or that isn't a possibility for you. And what the guides are saying is like, that could be you too. Like, if you're seeing someone, like, I don't know, an example that's coming to my mind is like, maybe you're seeing someone write a book and then publish it, and you're like, you just always dream of doing that. Like, oh, I've always wanted to write a book. It's like, stop living in the daydream. Like, it can be real. Like, everything you imagine, pile 3, can be real and can come into existence, okay? And I think you're gonna start to realize that. So it's like, I feel like what you need to focus your intention on is like, you can be the next big thing. Like, you can be the next, like, I don't know why I'm hearing Bob Marley. I don't know why I'm hearing that. But it's like, you can be the next big thing. Like, you can be the next superstar. You can be the next, you know, big writer. You can be the next, you can own the next $1 million company. It's all about your perception. And it's like, your belief system is like, do you believe you can do that? Like, do you see that in your vision? Because whatever you see in your vision, you can create, pile 3, because it's almost this feeling of like, they were in your spot once too. Like, all the people that you see online that are super successful, everyone around you that you see accomplishing all of these amazing things, you have to remember, like, they were in your place too at one point. They started from the bottom too, and it's like, if they did it, you can do it too, and you can probably do it better, and you can do it in your own way, okay? So don't sell yourself short is what I'm hearing, pile 3. It's like, don't sell yourself short. It's like, I'm almost seeing this vision of like not someone who's scared, just like someone who's super timid, who second guesses themselves a lot, and you're like, wait, can I do it too? Like, can I go do that too? Almost like you're waiting for some sort of permission to like go live out your dream, or you're waiting for someone to give you permission to like go post your videos online, or waiting for someone to give you permission to go publish your book. And it's like, you can do it. Like, give yourself permission. Like, you don't need anyone's permission. You don't need someone to tell you that you can go do it. It's like, you can do it yourself. So it's like, also Spirit is just saying to step into your power and take control of your own life. It's like, what am I getting? It's like, you can't watch it forever. Like, it's almost, I'm trying to think of an example. It's like almost this feeling of like, you can't, oh my God, what am I trying to say? It's like, it's almost this feeling of like, if you wanted to become a doctor and you just kept going to med school over and over and over, or you just, all you did was like watch Grey's Anatomy and just dreamed of being a doctor. It's like, stop watching Grey's Anatomy, go to med school, get your degree, and go do the damn thing. Like, stop watching everyone else do what you want to do and go do it. Like, give yourself the power to go do it. Give yourself the permission to take back your authority and know that you can create the life that you desire. If they have a big house, you can have a big house too. Maybe it has nothing to do with material. If they have a beautiful family, go create a beautiful family. Go manifest it. If they have like a perfect relationship, you can have it all. It's more about what you're willing to give yourself and what you're willing to give yourself permission to create, pile 3. So we have inspiration. Look at that. I feel for you, pile 3, you're inspired by so many different things. Like there's so many different things that you're inspired by, but it's almost like some of you think that other people are just better than you, or you think that you're never going to be able to be the best, or that you're never going to be able to be in the same position as the person at the top. And maybe that's not what you want, but it's Spirit is just basically saying, don't limit what's possible for you. I feel like you do that a lot, pile 3. It's like you limit the possibility of what you could create. Like stop limiting what's possible for you. Like, oh, that could never be me. I'm too old. I'm too this. That could never be me. I'm not that good. Like it's almost this feeling of like you're settling, like for just mundane. And it's like Spirit is saying you can have adventure, you can have excitement, you don't have to settle for anything. You just have to follow what you feel inspired by, and you just have to trust yourself enough and believe that you can do it too, just like everyone else. Okay? So in terms of what you need to be focused on, I think you're focused on the right things. I think there's plenty that you feel inspired by. I think there's plenty of things that you want to get up and go do, but like giving yourself permission to do that. Like, why am I hearing stay at home mom? Or maybe you've just been super limited your whole life. Like people always told you that, you couldn't do it, or, you'll never be them, or, maybe you grew up in a small town and you just grew up around small-minded people. It's like, stop surrounding yourself, pile 3, with small-minded people when you're such a large, open-minded person. Like you're a large-minded person is what your guidance is saying. Is like you dream big, and that is so amazing. So don't let someone else make you dream small. Okay? It's this feeling of like, 2, stop telling your ideas to people. Not everyone's going to see your vision. It doesn't matter. It's yours. It's personal to you. No one needs to see it. You're the only one that needs to see the vision you want to create for your life. If someone else doesn't believe it, tell them to go fuck themselves, okay? Like, I'm not kidding, pile 3, because Spirit is just saying what you want to create in this lifetime is so important. Like your life is so important, and there's so many things that you're going to create in this lifetime. Because some of you, I'm feeling like, sometimes I feel like you feel like you're too old, or you're running out of time, or you're not enough of something. Spirit is saying you are enough, and you can have whatever you want in this lifetime. And it's kind of this feeling of like, expand your horizons a little bit. Imagine more. Like, if you want this much, imagine that much. Like, imagine more for your life. See yourself as being more. See yourself as being more bold. See yourself as being more inspired, more creative, more vibrant, more alive, okay? I feel like you think you're so plain, or you feel like you think you're so simple, like you don't have uniqueness to you, Spirit is saying. And it's like they're saying like, you're so unique, okay? You're so unique, you're so inspiring, okay? You're not simple, okay? And I feel like some of you think you're plain, you think you're simple, when you're so unique. So let's see. Pile 3. We have purification. My energy field is being cleansed of all that I do not need. Some of you, I'm getting this feeling of like getting a divorce, or needing to separate yourself, or needing to break up with someone who makes you feel small. There's something about someone in your life, or something in your life, that makes you feel small, or something in your life that makes you feel less than. It's something's like squashing you, and you need to purify yourself of that. Whatever energy in your life right now is making you feel small, they need to go, because Spirit is showing you're so, like, your energy field is so big, it's so broad, it's so wide, and you're around someone, I feel like, who is trying to tear you down or who is trying to make you feel less than. And this could be a person, could be an environment, like the job that you go work at, the co-workers you're surrounded by. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that brighten you up. Make sure you're surrounded by people that make you feel good about yourself, that make you feel confident, okay? I would be more aware of who you're surrounding yourself with, because I think that's super important to get where you want to go in this lifetime. You also have surrender. So this came out in another pile. So surrender is just a beautiful message of just trusting that Spirit has your back. We also have abundance and we have radiance. So again, what am I saying about your energy field being so bright? And then abundance. You're meant to create so much. And I think a lot of people are going to be jealous of that, because you have the courage to believe in yourself, which is not an easy thing to do. And that's why a lot of people are stuck in toxic situations. That's why a lot of people are stuck in small-mindedness, because they don't believe in themselves enough. They don't believe themselves to be worthy, which is super unfortunate, but it's also something that you can't help. All you have to do is believe in yourself. All you have to do is shine your light, and you'll help the right people that you're meant to help, and you'll follow the path that you're meant to follow. You can't save everyone. And so there are going to be some jealous people. There are going to be some people that want to bring you down. But Spirit is saying it's also needing to understand why they're trying to bring you down, the reasoning for it. Because they're small, so they want other people around them to be small and to stay small. And when they see someone growing and when they see someone evolving, it just scares them. It frightens them, because they don't know how to get out of their own toxic patterns. And so when they're seeing someone get out of their toxic patterns, when they're seeing you shine bright, and when they're seeing you working on yourself and building your confidence and believing in yourself, it triggers something in them that they know that they need to do as well. So hopefully what your radiance can do for the jealous people is to start making them work on themselves as well. And hopefully it can be a domino effect for other people. And hopefully by you following your own inspiration, hopefully it can inspire others to do the same. That's all we can hope for. Okay, wow. Okay, so is there anything else for pile 3 and about what they need to focus on? It's up to you, is what I'm hearing. It's up to you. Let's see. We also have enthusiasm. I think you're about to create so much, okay? You're about to create so much, pile 3. And I think you're about to help so many people. But I feel like it didn't come easy. You had to go through a lot. You had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. And I think the hardest part of this whole process is believing in yourself and trusting yourself. That's literally the hardest part of what you're doing, is just like believing that what you have to say matters and trusting yourself enough to see that, like, you're worthy enough to be center stage, which I think has been a struggle for you in the past, is like feeling like you're not worthy enough to be center stage. Okay, so let me see. Is there any last little tidbits, Spirit? You're worthy enough to be center stage. Who needs to hear that? Like, I'm just hearing you're worthy enough to be center stage. You're worthy enough to have the big house. You're worthy enough to have everything that you've ever desired in this lifetime. Okay, pile 3. So let me know if that resonated. Make sure to subscribe. Click the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. And I will see all of you beautiful souls on the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Bye, guys.